Okay, well, I think I'm ready to kick off my next session, and I'm just going to give you a little introduction. These are the pile of engines that I have left to deal with, and fix them or put them together in some fashion. So I have a few. Okay, and then I have some of my own that I need to work on. I also just received enough magnets for 14 DC motors, so I got these printings without any magnets. I got more magnets. So this is the array of engines. This one is my Christmas engine. It still needs to be worked, but this is the 300 AC that we've tuned up and it's working well. This is the 302, which has smoke. This is the 287, you saw it yesterday with smoke, and that's the 290 with a really good chuff and smoke. All three of these have smoke with the controller board. This one is non-smoke. This one has smoke, but he doesn't count. So what in my thinking, I thought I'd do some base engines more or less, where they all had very similar tenders, and that would be sort of quick for me. I do have some other partially assembled engines laying about. I mean, there's some there and there's some here. There's an old DC can. There's a Max. This is a, oh heck, dropped an armature. Oh Jesus, I think I might have bent it. This is the engine that came out of this. This is a 310. Okay, this is the motor chassis assembly that came out of the 310, and I'm not sure I'm going to use any of it. I don't know if it rolls. I tried to run it. The reverse didn't work. No brushes, old style, all that junk. Okay, so I think I'm just going to put that in a bag and hang on to it. I have two chassis choices to run. I have one with Jim's engine on it, his fields. I want to use his fields because they're very smooth. This chassis is not too bad. It's got a chipped wheel there, but we can figure that out. This chassis is in a little better condition, and it has a smoke already assembled, but it's an old style smoke, so it's going to need an update. And it has attempts at getting chuff sounds and signals and things that I'm going to have to rethink how I want to do that for these engines, but it does have the Fat Man, so this could be a good engine for this engine over here. This field on this one, this has the 3D smoke, he has the traditional smoke, he has the traditional magnets, but they're updated. Or maybe I mix and match. I don't know what I'm going to do. But at any rate, this is what I think. I've got this no number, can't really read it. Just can't. It had some other stuff on it. A couple decals taken off, but notice it does not have the slot. So this was a smoke and boiler. So it should get this smoke and boiler with the notches and all that stuff, right? This one would get notches there for that. This one I think has notches too. Yeah, so the linkages will all work on either of these chassis. But since this one, oh, this is the button. 310 with a button. Oh, this has buttons. Okay, so I should use that chassis if I can, because it was originally a brass button chassis. Okay, so we're going to mix and match all that up. I'm going to take that field. I think I'm going to bring it over here because this is big and heavy. And his is pretty powerful. I don't want to look too wimpy next to Jim's here. I do have a smoke kit, so I'm going to put a smoke kit on him. They're both going to need the buck boost board, which is laying around somewhere, that red board. And here's one. You've seen them. They go here. That converts and allows me to adjust the smoke signal through the potentiometer that's in here. Okay, so they're going to get the adjustable smart smoke lids. He's going to be 3D smoke with a fan. He's going to need a trigger to trigger the fan. I'm going to work on that probably after I get this one going, because he's mechanical. Then they're both going to get, I think, my first style of reverse where the power distribution thing was built into the board. And I think I have ways of making this work smoothly with smoke. We're going to see. If I don't, Dan Shook is building more motor controllers for me, and he's got them coming soon. So when they come in, I'll substitute if these can't be made to work right, okay? So I still don't have it in my head. I kind of wanted to use the vintage smoke and the vintage fields. What do you think of that? Put these two together and run this guy, but run it on brass button chassis. This one or this one. All right. So use this motor with this smoke, this motor and this smoke, this assembly on a brass button, and that's brass button. Okay. Now from a tender's point of view, I have a tender chassis, bare chassis for the K5. I have one. I might have another. I got to look through my bag. I have an entire tender, but it's full of digitals, and I don't really know if I want to mess with it. And then I also have a 3D printed chassis, which I might want to update, but it could be put to use here. I think it goes like that. But in any case, I could build the chassis and put in all-wheel pickup as well, if I wanted to. If we think that's fun to do. I don't know. I have some of the parts there. I have other chassis down here. I may have some K5 extras. I'll look through there and see, but if I don't, I can use a 3D printed one. That might be a good time to introduce that concept anyway. Okay, I could put all-wheel pickup on those too if I had to. I mean, I have others, you know, I have these sintered ones that you just re-rivet and all that, so it can go either way. But that's two-wheel, you know, two-wheel pickup. That's the plan. That's where I'm going to get started today. I think what I'm going to do is switch the fields around, select the chassis, go through the chassis, and get the chassis running smoothly with power supply, and then I'll start worrying about the smokes. Okay, so I'm going to get the motors, both motors working, best combinations I can get, and then we'll set up the chassis, we'll set up the smoke, and see how far I can get with that. All right, I'll try to build this lid and get it installed, and then we can have a smoke off. Okay, so that's the game plan. We're going to do a 310, and I'm just betting this is something like a 312. I just don't know. I'll have to get my book out and see when they made them. My book's over there. I'll look it up later. Okay, gang, that's the plan. K5 day. Later.